we are here to bring you everything and anything surrounding Porsche. I'm Mike.
I'm Aaron.
And this is P-Car Talk.
Hey, before the show starts, wanted to remind you guys, Aaron and I have put together a club drive that is coming out. It will be in April. Dates are going to be announced to club members, so you need to be a club member to join, correct? With that, how do they do that?
Go to pcartalk.com, and then you'll look under the club, and you'll see that there's a drop-down menu, and then it says the annual club drive.
Awesome. In order to go on the club job, you need to become a member. How do you become a member? Go to pcartalk.com. We have memberships starting as little as $60 a year. However, we do recommend you get the highest level, the RS membership, which is like $160 a year. With those, you can read on the website. We won't bore you with that, but we have been told that we need to go ahead and describe that to everybody, that's annual, not per month. In addition to that, there's also a giveaway every month with your membership that's sponsored, and we've given away some amazing things, right?
Stuff,
like a model that was like $600 that was supplied by Suncoast, and deck lids that are supplied by people that are making customized things, and then we're giving away valve covers that are made for keychain. I'm telling you, if you win one of these things, and you even have a base one, and it's random, so people, you've basically paid for your membership for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years or however you do the math. So there's a lot to be given away. I know there's probably people saying out there like, oh my God, whatever, what do I get with it? Well, you get a crap ton. So needless to say, and also there's a drive that you're going to be able to go on as well.
That's the big part.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big driving event, but you need to pay for it to go on drive. Obviously, your membership doesn't pay for that, but it gets you the code to get onto the website to sign up. And once you become a club member, the password goes out to you, and then you can sign up for the drive. So make sure that you go ahead and sign up, because it's only going to be open for roughly 2 months, and then we're closing the door on it because we need to make sure that we have everything accommodated for the people that have signed up, correct?
Correct.
So without further ado, enjoy the rest of the show. All right, welcome to another episode of P-Car Talk. I'm Mike.
And I'm Aaron.
And we are still in location in Miami. We have Andy Kilcoyne on, Director of Operations from Kelly Moss. Thanks for joining us, special guest.
Hey, man, thanks for having me.
Of course. You know, we've talked about many events in the past that, Rensport, everywhere. Finally we had an opportunity where our schedules kind of link up and have an opportunity to sit down, so we're looking forward to it. And educating our listeners what Kelly Moss does. We know we're following you guys, but there's a lot of Porsche guys all over the place that still need to get educated. So let's get right into it. So Kelly Moss, you guys are based in Wisconsin, correct?
Yeah. We're Madison, Wisconsin.
Awesome. And you guys do a lot of race prep, right, for a lot of teams, and you do a lot of things. So we'll get into all the stages of it, obviously the layers. But one of the major elements you guys do is you prep race cars, correct?
We do. Since 1988. We've, pretty much for a long time, we're just known as a Porsche racing team.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do GT3 Cup. We've been with IMSA for the duration. We've been a part of every North American Cup race since its inception.
Awesome.
Oh wow.
And you guys have a lot of teams that basically come to you. So you guys are busy all the time, prepping cars. And so are there a lot of privateer racers that come to you as well that do maybe I don't want to say DE, but maybe kind of like a GT series and all that kind of stuff? They come to you guys to do Cup cars and all that?
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of Porsche club stuff, a lot of club racing, a lot of private testing, and it's pretty much a program that we can take someone that's never been in a race car before, that has aspirations of how do I go from DE or how do I get involved, all the way up to building some of the young talent of the up and coming racers.
That's cool.
And since your inception back when the company first started, was that always the ethos? Were you guys always the goal to do that, or how did it get born? What was the goal behind it? Was it always just to be an automotive race shop? Was it always to be just a modified shop? What was the goal, and where are we now? Can you kind of take us through the progression?
Yeah, I mean, the focus, originally early on was 100% all about racing. Didn't have anything to do with the custom builds or general repair that we do now.
Yeah.
But the model has evolved, and
well, I'm sure the clientele base has kind of driven that some too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Where they're kind of hey, you take care of my my GT3 cars, you do Cup car stuff. You're I got a street car. Can you guys massage it a little bit for me?
Yep, exactly.
Nice. So I've seen photos, and if you haven't checked them out on Instagram, definitely check them out. They have an awesome page, but the racks in your storage, it's just insane because it just looks like a Porsche race warehouse, the way you guys have it, like, store cars in there. Do you have like what is that, like a forklift that's putting cars up on those? Like, how do you get them up on there? Because it doesn't look like there's a lift system, or unless I've never seen it. I mean,
no, envision a giant metal pallet that you drive a car on,
okay,
and then a monster forklift
that
and
just
them up. Yep.
Gets it right up there.
Yep.
Okay, nice.
Our facility's about just shy of 70,000 square feet, and you would think that's massive, but we've got I don't know, at any given time, 100 to 130 cars in our care and custody. So it gets busy.
Yeah, that's pretty healthy. So you guys have a pretty healthy staff of folks then too, as well, right?
We do. I think I don't even honestly know how many we have now. 45 full-time people, I think.
Wow, that's a pretty healthy staff of people. Now, let's get into some of your custom builds, and we'll get all the way up to kind of current stuff. But you guys. At some point, you did that snow racer car, which was really, really cool. So I'd like to touch on that a little bit. Like, how did that come about? How did it even happen, I guess? Did the customer just come to you and say, hey, I want an ice racer, or I want to do this, or I want to do that? Or is that something in-house your team sits down and says, hey, wouldn't it be pretty badass if we did this? How does that happen?
So that car was actually my wife Victoria and mine. We built that for SEMA circa 2017, I think it was. We linked up with Larry Chen and Will Rogie from the Hooligans, and went out in the desert after SEMA, and just had a ton of fun, did a monster shoot, and it was just really awesome seeing the car get worked, and seeing some of the amazing skills that those boys had. Yeah. And from there, it was conversation of like, the colors of the car are so awesome. Let's try to get on a ski hill, or let's do something in the snow. And the dates just worked, and the guys came up, and we did a 3-day shoot, and they did a Hoonigan episode on it, and it was probably, quite honestly, one of the most fun days of my entire life. Yeah, I saw the video, it looks amazing. Like, they were just getting like showered with snow. They were just like, oh my God. Yeah, just sliding the thing the whole time. So the original build was just for you personally, and then it kind of turned into somebody's like, I gotta have it. Is that kind of what it did? Yep. Car ended up going out west. And then from there, we got just, flooded with inquiries on, I want one. That looks awesome. I want to do it. So tell the listeners a little bit of, if they want to commission a build, or they want to do something like that, is that something that you guys are taking on, or is that something it's kind of like you guys are, we don't really do that, but what are you really interested on? Like, educate us a little bit on that. Yeah, I mean, we're a customer-driven program. If you want us to build you a monster truck, cool, let's build a monster truck. If you want to build a Baja car, let's do it. Okay. So whether it's racing or the custom builds, I mean, it's all customer focused. Okay. That's really cool. Yeah, always happy to take on new builds. The dumber idea, the more we like it. Nice. And that's what we talked about earlier, right? Yeah. That's why we love what you guys do, because you guys are like us. You're like, hey, let's beat the shit out of it. Let's go nuts, right? Let's have fun. Yeah. And you know what? If we break it, we fix it. We'll fix it. Yeah. I mean, exactly. That's what we do. That's why it's built, right? So we can go have fun with it. Exactly. And that's great. Exactly. So then that build, and then now, obviously we saw Willie last year at Amelia, which was amazing, and you guys debuted that. So same situation, right? You built that car for yourself. Correct. And then people kind of went nuts for it, and somebody's like, I gotta have it, right? Yep. Like, so this was the car that I built for myself. It's kind of more, it was more my personality. Keep the Porsche lines, keep it, looking like it should have come from Porsche, like that. My intent was never to sell it. Yeah. My beautiful wife Victoria had other plans. So she's like, well, let's just advertise it a little bit and see if we have anybody has any interest. You want to sell my baby? Exactly. She's like, you can build yourself another one. I'm like, yeah, we have a bit of a backlog of work. Exactly. You're like, but I have to find time to do that, and I don't have the time to do that. Correct. It's like the old story, right? Like, the car builders never have time to build their own cars. Nope. And like, you had an opportunity to finally build a car, and you're like, no, it's leaving. Right. You're like, so now you probably in your mind mentally thought, like,
now I'm set back another 5 years until I get another car.
Right. Yep.
So great debut. Like I think, at Amelia when we saw it last year, I was totally blown away. And obviously there's a lot of other people doing safari builds, and it was on your own take, which was great. I kind of want to rewind a little bit about it because it kind of went viral for a little bit. It was pretty funny when you guys put the Cup car on the roof. Yeah. Tell us the story, gives the listeners the background, because there's probably people that not sure or didn't hear the whole story. So how did that even happen? Like, were people talking shit basically, and they're like, look, this thing can't do that, like that rack's garbage, like whatever, the structure, you can't handle this. Is that kind of how it started? You were just like, all right.
Yeah, I mean,
time to prove you wrong.
You know how people are on, on social media.
Trolls.
And,
yeah.
They always big talker when they're, behind a computer screen. We first debuted the car at Radwood Austin, which awesome show, by the way. And we had a rooftop tent on it.
Okay.
And, we just thought it'd be kind of cool to, kind of the Overland Porsche, right? And, the car's got a, really, really robust cage built into it, and the roof rack's tied into the cage, and a bunch of photos and magazine articles came out about it, and, the trolls were like, oh, you could never put two people on the roof of that
Oh,
thing.
wow. So they were like, oh, two people can't sleep, you'll just mess it up. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way you could put two people on top of a Porsche. And then we were having a conversation about it, and it's like, well, how do we prove to people that, that this is robust, this is real?
Yeah.
I mean, this is engineered to work, right?
Yeah.
And we're talking about, trying to put a bunch of our big heavy hitter staff guys on top of it and take some photos, and then from there kind of evolved into
men's men.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of evolved into I've got a Volkswagen LT35 bus.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm putting it on the roof.
Nice.
And my wife's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't about the question of the integrity of the structure. It's how do you balance it?
Yeah.
Because the roof rack, to make it look right with the roof line, slopes backwards.
Absolutely. The body lines. Yeah.
Yep. So we built a wooden pallet that was basically the shape of a wedge, so we could level it back out.
Okay.
And put a Cup car up on the two-post lift and rolled the car under it and pumped the tires up to like 60 pounds and set the Cup car down on it, and then it was kind of nobody's going to believe that it's that it's not somehow suspended by the hoist. So then you got to push it back out in the middle of the room and take some video.
Yeah. It was like an all-afternoon event.
It was probably in a better part of an hour to build the pallet, and then it didn't take too terribly long. But
was there a butt pucker moment that, like, when you're going that hard when you're putting that car on there?
I was absolutely not worried about breaking anything. I was scared to death of it teetering and falling off.
Yeah.
Which would have made a great video, by the way.
Yeah.
But it would have been awful.
It's like an Elon Musk video. These windows don't break for shit.
Exactly.
And it's like, break the other one.
Good news, car didn't break until we crushed it.
Exactly. Cut the video.
Okay, post it. It's awesome.
Exactly. No, that's awesome. And you guys built all that in-house, right? Like the rack and all that stuff's custom, correct?
Yep. Yeah. Pretty much everything that we do on the cars, we do 100% in-house.
Nice.
It's the only way you can control the quality, you can control the timelines.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You don't. That's so rare nowadays too, because and to each their own. Whatever car builder is out there that wants to do what they want to do, but like you said, it paramount, like the QC on it. If you're sourcing third-party stuff, now you're on their timeline too, because what if that third party's backlogged?
Yeah,
now the car gets delayed, right?
Right.
Or at the end of the day, and I love your ethos behind that too, where you guys keep it, because you don't want to leave room to have an excuse to say, well,
that wasn't me.
we didn't make that rack, so that's why, all your shit fell off of it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I mean, in the end, you can take, all the credit for it, but you're also responsible.
I was going to say, that's double-edged, right?
Yeah.
Like, you live in all the glory or you die with it too, right? So it's one of those type of situations.
Exactly. And man, we've got, some amazing craftsmen at the shop. I mean, from different walks of life, and, some from dealership experience, some from, never going to school and just, working with their hands, and, just, we've got a lot of tenure and a lot of good people. Just, some real artists and, people that are just incredible and amazing.
Yeah. So share with not necessarily trade secrets, but some challenges. What are some challenges when you build a safari car to that degree and that level? Because you've gone through the entire car, so it's essentially an entirely new car. Mm-hmm. So what are some time-consuming ones, or some challenges as far as a builder goes when you go through that process? What are some of the things that you guys have to deal with?
I think one of the biggest struggles, that we have are the time and cost restraints. I don't like. Hi.
Wow, this kid's got a loud voice, doesn't he?
I don't like doing cookie cutter cars.
Uh-huh.
We like pushing the envelope. We like doing something different. We like to one up our previous build.
Yeah.
If we did more of the same thing, we had more repetition.
Uh-huh.
There's some economy in scale.
Yeah.
But it's not what we're really about.
Yeah.
We like doing bespoke. We like doing different. Most people aren't idiots like me and do a rotisserie restoration on something you're going to take out and destroy.
Take to the lake bed, right?
Exactly. Yeah, man.
But you know what it is once you do
Exactly.
it. There's no questions. It's like, oh wow, that gave out, and you're like, well, we didn't really look at that. We thought it'd be okay.
Yep.
So I guess you're not leaving any stone unturned in that situation.
Literally touching every fastener.
Yeah.
And replating or replacing. Suspension stuff is all. We do completely custom one-off stuff and build our own control arms and.
Yeah, which is a huge peace of mind from a customer standpoint. I could imagine if I was buying something from you as a customer, that would make me feel really good, and that would be outstanding because I know that everything has been touched. That's a good peace of mind thing. And it's probably good peace of mind for you guys too, because you're like, look, everything in this thing, we've done everything to it.
Touch,
it's fine.
seed over and over.
Yep.
So when you break it, you break it.
And there's good video evidence out there that we put it through the paces and test and try, and when you're trailblazing new ground and you're doing new development on parts and pieces, I mean, things are going to fail.
Yeah.
Right. And you got to know what those things are so that you can make them better and improve the customer cars, and it's a pretty good proven process at this point.
So now you said like you're doing some, based on the customer, what they want for the most part, do you keep the car for a little bit to try to dial it in a little after the build is done and go beat on it a little bit before you make a customer delivery to be like, okay, she's ready to go?
Yeah, we won't really take it out and really thrash it too much, but definitely it'll have 200 to 400 miles put on it when it's completed.
Yeah.
The process is good enough now where I would say the car is 95% when we get it done, but inevitably there's always something that that has to be worked through.
Yeah.
The car that we delivered to Mike Joyce this weekend, he took the delivery of it on Thursday night at the
beautiful
mall.
car.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Texas, right?
Yep, Texas.
Yeah.
It's snowing and salty in Wisconsin right now, so we had zero drive time on before getting it here. So he's gotten the opportunity to drive it before we've had a lot of time in it, which is not ideal for what we normally want to do.
You don't want him finding things before you find them.
Exactly. Flew a technician down to meet the car down here. He got some miles on it.
Okay, so he took delivery here at DRT with it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So you got to beat on it a little bit here and enjoy the event and all that kind of stuff. That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
So we got a handful of little things we need to refine. We'll take it back to Madison after this, and then we'll bring it back with us to Amelia.
The interior in that car is gorgeous. Like, talk to me about that interior, because it's such a cool build. Like, what is that in there? Like, it's.
So it's. Mike actually he picked the materials. It's kind of like a distressed saddle leather and a really cool tartan pattern.
Yeah.
Funny story about the interior. That was one of the only things that we hadn't been doing in-house, and been a position that we've been advertising for and looking for the right person, and this really nice young kid, Luke. Sent an email through the info at Kelly Moss email address saying, "Hey, I'm moving to Madison and I do interior work. Are you looking for anybody to help with interior?" I'm like, "We need to talk right now."
I need you.
I need you. And,
Can you get here tomorrow?
Exactly. And he was living in northern Wisconsin, doing a lot of hot rod stuff for SEMA builds, and he'd gone I think to Wyotech for doing interior. And,
Very cool.
He was, just a really cool guy, and had a good conversation on the phone, and said, all right, well, let me think about it, I'll call you back. And I think 30 minutes later, I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
And brought him in, and I'm super excited about his trajectory.
Yeah.
Really talented kid, good eye for detail.
Yeah, he did great work on that.
You can tell the work ethic is there.
Yeah.
And he's a great addition to the team.
That's huge. Yeah, that's good to have somebody come in seamlessly and then adapt to the culture of what you guys do already. That's hard to find.
It is. Another thing I kind of like, and you'll see in most of our builds, I mean, it's very traditional Porsche, but it's also very non-traditional.
Yeah.
We like to take a traditional thing and put a little twist on it.
Of course.
And he did not come from a Porsche background, which I think is really fun. So kind of bringing some of the other work he's done for hot rods, and
bringing an untrained eye to it, which is kind of a cool thing.
Exactly.
So now since that point, is he your resident upholstery person now?
He is. He works out of our shop.
Good for him.
He does such great work, and we have such a backlog on stuff now. He actually has an apprentice in training.
So he went from being you need somebody to being a boss already.
Exactly. So yeah, that's working out great.
That's awesome. So how many, safaris or, they obviously not necessarily all have to have safaris because you do all types of stuff. You do, any kind of build anybody wants. But do you have any safaris in queue right now, or what's going on with that?
We do. I don't even know how many we have in queue.
Okay.
I think Mike's is number 7.
Just ballpark wise, if somebody wanted to go with you guys for a build like right now and say, I'm going to put a deposit down, like roughly, obviously we're not going to hold you to this, but just projecting out, how long are we looking at? 2-year waiting list? What are we looking at?
It kind of depends on the scale of the build, right? If it's a mostly mechanical build,
okay,
we can do something like that, relatively quickly.
Okay.
8 to 12 months.
Okay.
If it's a rotisserie build, I mean, those are, they're a 9 to 12 month process of doing it. So yeah, the backlog now, I mean, we're booking into 2023.
Okay.
For some of our projects.
Nice.
But we're always welcoming more stuff, and looking for new
well, it's
talent
worth the
to
wait.
come in.
I mean, like when you have a totally bespoke thing like that, I think a lot of listeners, or maybe they do know or they not know. I mean, we're in the industry and we're around these things, and we understand what it takes and the labor hours that go into these things. Like, it's not like these can just get pumped out. There's not an assembly line for this stuff. There's human hands touching all of this. So
hand build. Yeah.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, you want to have a work-life balance. You want your guys to be happy still too. It's like you're not gonna. You want them to still work for you.
Right. And we're lucky that we've got a lot of very patient girlfriends and wives. Of some of these guys, because it's it's.
You guys are burning the midnight oil often, right? I mean, that's actually the common theme in the automotive industry. I think even from a media standpoint, we're doing the same thing. We're always burning the midnight oil.
Sure. Yeah, because I mean, we're doing the custom car builds, but then we also have wrecked race cars that come in, and those are completely unplanned things that, cars got to be fixed for.
I didn't plan to put it in the wall.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So the guys are incredibly accommodating, and it's culture is really important to me in the shop. Guys are awesome, and they're always willing to jump in and do whatever it takes to make sure we don't miss a deadline.
Yeah, and I'm assuming this, but I want to ask, I'm sure that your staff is delegated for, you have your race guys that work on the race cars when they come in, and do you have your modded staff when they're working on modded cars, so that way that people are always going, or do they stop one thing if a race car comes in and they go to the race car? How does that work at your shop?
It kind of depends on the nature of the repair.
Okay.
I would like to say that we're a large enough staff that we can have dedicated race guys and dedicated, custom car guys. There's definitely different skill levels throughout the departments. Most of our guys are, especially in the body shop, are combo techs, so they have the ability to do metal work. They can do paint work, they can do finish work, they can do buffing and polishing. But there's some guys that have more experience than others, and some guys that excel in others. So it's easy sometimes to push guys in certain areas, as the schedule determines.
Yeah, that's interesting. As far as that goes, so as far as your shop goes as a shop build, you built that personally, and then, I mean, obviously it's just kind of been systematic. You built the other car for yourself too. So do you have something cooking right now for yourself? Is there any time for that? I mean,
I'm trying to focus on something that's more mechanical.
Okay.
Instead of an all-encompassing
a
build.
little bit easier and shorter time frame.
Yeah, for sure. And doing development work on my dime is awesome for the clients, but not so awesome
not
for me.
you.
Yeah.
I've got working with the guys at Vonnen with the hybrid shadow drive system.
Okay.
And I've got a 991 Turbo S that we're working on.
I've seen photos of that. Yeah, let's talk about that car a little bit. So we've seen some photos of it. It's like it's a tarmac car, right?
It is a tarmac rally car.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what was the theory behind that? Did you just wanted to do something different? And then also, a lot of your builds were air cooled. You've gone water cooled with this one too. So why Turbo S? What that made you pick that one?
I think they're amazingly sexy cars for one.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They're really, really fast. And making them go really, really, really fast.
Yeah.
It's just
and sideways.
Exactly.
In the snow.
Exactly.
And that sexy turbo noise too.
Yes.
It's just you got to put one of those dying bird noises on it, where the blow off. I was like, ooh, ooh, the old rally cars back in the day where they were doing that when they're just oh man.
So I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do with that car at this point. We're going to play with it through show season. The thing with the older cars, the air-cooled cars, as much as we're doing modern fuel injection and throttle by wire and Bluetooth radios and
you're bringing them up to snuff. Yeah,
but it's still not. Guys are really, really comfortable driving their Cayenne or their 991 street car or whatever. They hop in their air-cooled car and they like driving the Cars and Coffee.
Yeah.
But it's not something that they really want to drive every day.
Yeah.
Something a little bit more creature comfort oriented.
Exactly.
Style.
People, I like my cooled seats.
We talk about it all the time.
Yeah,
it's the best invention ever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody who tries
once you have it, you can't unhave it.
Yeah. That's true. That's a very good point. And everybody out there who tries to pretend like you're super hardcore, cut the crap. They're awesome.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Right.
Trust me, it's worth it.
Right.
Especially down here. You guys are down here. I feel like you guys are second home here, is down here. We see you guys all the time, and you have to have that down here. That's not even everything sent here new has to have that.
Yep.
End of story.
Yeah, in Mike's car he took delivery of Thursday, we've got cooled seats in there. And
really?
The electric AC. He's from Austin, Texas.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's super hot.
It's hot.
That's badass that you guys did that in the air-cooled car.
Yep.
So, let's talk about that for a little bit, because I didn't know that. So so when you put it in, is that a system that already exists, or is that something you guys had to do? Because I didn't even know somebody was able to do that outside of the factory.
Yep, we something that we spec'd the cooling fans for it and made the provisions in the seat. Again, Luke in the interior shop did all that, and one of the fab guys, made some really trick trim panels, and we covered it in leather, so it's all disguised and you can't see it. All the cars that we're building are, it's all Motec stuff and using a PDM.
Awesome
so
stuff.
We're able to program everything.
Yeah.
And, have it
Get his
reliable
blueprint
and
it the way you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, what a lucky guy. So now my mind has already gone to him hooning with air conditioned seats
comfort.
and the AC on.
Right.
Keep the windows up,
so
the mud's
nice
not on him.
Yep.
And it's all, he's like, oh, this is the best thing ever. I'm just going nuts out here. And he's like, and I'm not sweating.
Right.
What a spoiled bastard, huh? How awesome is that for him? Good for him, though. What a great build. Wow. So was that something he said to you? I want air-conditioned seats? Or is that something he's like, hey, we could probably do this? Is that something that you guys collabed on? How did that even come about?
It honestly was, we had a lot of discussion focus on how to make an air conditioning system work really efficiently on an air-cooled car. You know, and the AC system that's in there, you know, we're doing a dual condenser setup. We kind of spec'd and changed. You know, Classic Retrofit does a great system. But we found it to be marginal in most climates. So So we spec'd some different condensers and different fan setups and get some better airflow to it.
Good for you guys.
And made it work a little better. And then it was I don't know, it was just a thought of, well, man, one thing that would really help. I'm a fat man. I like my cooled seats.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you think? Let's add this in there. And he's like, can you do it? I'm like, yeah, for sure. So
you're like sweating, don't like
while
it.
we're in there,
right,
thing.
right.
Yeah.
Like we need to bring body temps down as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a really
That's going to be
trick.
a key feature in that cell.
You heard it here first. You guys are going to probably
AC
blow
seats.
up. Everybody's like, and the air cold market is like, I want air conditioned seats. Call Kelly Moss, get them. I want them.
Yep.
That's so awesome, though. Wow, that's really, really trick.
Yeah.
I'm still blown away by that whole situation.
They work very nicely.
Nice.
I've tested it myself.
Yeah. I bet.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So you have anything, Aaron? Were you
I was
about
going
to say
ask,
something?
so what are some of the things when you were first building Willie, like that you had to have in there? Like, what were your like? You know what? If I did a Safari, I would want this, this, and this. What kind of things were you looking for?
I promised my wife that this was just going to be you know what, we're going to do a really mechanical build on it. We're going to wrap it, and it's just going to be tactical and fun. And then, like, everything that I do, it snowballs into stupid.
Yeah.
And
I think that just goes back to, like, your personality, though. You want to do the best that you can for everything.
Yep.
You want to take it all to the limit.
And it's a development piece,
Yeah.
right? You know, so to me, the cage was important. I wanted something that, you know, was not only for safety, but added some structural integrity to the car. I wanted to be able to jump it and not have it, you know, bend at the cowl and the doors pop open and
break your spine.
Exactly.
Put cars on it. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so the cage to me was important, and you know, we did a color change on the car, which I wasn't going to do, I promised. But then, since you're welding in the front trunk, and you're welding in the engine bay, and you're welding on the inside of the car
While you're there.
and it's like, you know what? It's going to be less time if we just put it on the rotisserie, blast it, and start over. And then it's like,
Yeah. Here we are, slippery slope.
Exactly. Yeah, and then trying to come up, you know, I see in shades of black. Everything I have is black.
Yeah.
I like your style.
Exactly.
And this one
It
is
just works.
almost black.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool, and I like the color. First time we've done a matte finish like that, a satin finish. Really, really difficult from a technical standpoint to spray.
Yeah.
Only from the standpoint that you're not going to buff it. You're not going to.
Yeah, there's nothing to cut.
You
Yeah,
can't
you're
do
not cutting
justice
it.
to
No.
Yeah.
So how it comes out of the gun in the booth, that's what it is.
That's it, huh?
Jason Dish, who's one of the senior guys in the shop, he kind of took that one on and really ran with it. And I'm super proud of him to say that, you know, all the effort he put into the booth prep and getting everything ready, as you see it, is
That's
first
the
shot.
way it came out. That's
the first shot.
awesome. And it looks amazing. It looks so
he
good.
did a great job on it.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, it's really, really, really robust.
I was just about to ask you that because I know you guys put it through its paces. Like, how does that mat hold up with all of the mud and all of the stuff that gets all over it? Just comes off, no problem?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you saw the desert shoot.
Oh,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
We didn't repaint anything.
Oh, really?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Literally glass cleaner and microfiber and wipe it down.
That's awesome.
You can't see the micro scratches. You can't see anything like that.
Wow.
So anyone that says that a matte finish is hard to maintain is wrong.
Yeah. Not true, huh?
No.
Wow.
Just get the right stuff.
Yeah, it's really, really durable.
Nice. Now, I want to go back to the tarmac car just for a little bit, because I saw some of the social media posts you guys posted, but it's not. You guys said it's not done yet. What are some, or is that correct?
Correct, not done yet.
What are some things that you still want to do to that car, as far as like for you? You want to put some more stuff on it? Like, let's just hear what you want to have do to the rest of the car.
Yeah, so we're working with the Vonnen guys to, you know, this is the second car that's been done. The first one they did was a 991 C2.
Okay.
This is the first all-wheel drive turbo car.
Okay.
And there's some, the cars drive different between the NA C2 and the turbo cars.
Yeah.
So trying to optimize the tuning behind it, to make it work in the right areas. Obviously the turbos are quite efficient, but if we can aid in, some of the turbo lag and spool up aspect, we can make monster power.
Yeah.
The downside to the PDK is you can put too much torque through it.
Okay.
And break it.
Gotcha.
And it's based on the design of it, what it tries to do is it tries to push the differential out the side of the case.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's not like an internal failure. It's a structural failure.
Yeah. It's like it can't hold it.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
For sure. So we're trying to put enough torque through it to almost break it.
Yeah.
But not quite.
Walk that line.
Find the
right.
limit. Yeah.
Walk
Right.
that line.
No, we're in the plans of doing some monster turbos and
Nice.
And teaming up with Boost Logic on some of that, because they're obviously good dudes and
Super cool.
Yeah, we're excited about that. But I think the plan is we're gonna run it as is for probably part of the first part of the show season. Then we're gonna take it back to the shop, pull the suspension off of it, pull a bunch of weight out of the car, lower it back down, and build a monster engine for it. And I think we're going to try to attack the half-mile and 1 mile Porsche speed record.
Oh, wow. Nice. That would be really cool.
Just for something fun to do.
Yeah, just to mix things up a little bit.
Yep.
Huh?
What do you expect to see, like, power-wise with the Vaughn and stuff with the Atom? Like, are you looking for any power really out of it, or just, like, help between the spool up with the turbos?
I mean, it's an amazing power adder. The instantaneous torque. I mean, we're already over 700 foot-pounds at the wheels at like 3,000 RPM. I think 770 was the number.
Wow.
So I mean, it's
not bad at all.
Huge torque. And it pulls so hard and so strong.
Oh yeah, they're just freight trains.
Yeah.
Like we've driven unmodded ones and I can't even imagine. It's just endless power. It's just, it's like you run out of tarmac.
Yeah, I think the Turbo S, Porsche rated it as a 10.8 quarter mile car from factory. So by the time we add a bunch to it, it should be pretty impressive.
It should be.
I mean, it's impressive now. Don't get me wrong. Anything that you've driven with electric.
You've been in the Taycan Turbo S, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that like mild concussion you get from like the launches it does, like it's insane, right?
Yep.
Like similar thing in the Turbo S.
Yep, exactly.
So as far as like, obviously we're in sunny Miami, but like it's frigid in Wisconsin still. Have you been able to take that car out in the snow at all and like hoon around with it at all?
Haven't done much. We're trying to get a shoot together. We've had unseasonably warm weather up there, believe it or not.
Okay.
So the ice hasn't been safe to get out on yet. So excited about hopefully doing that in the coming weeks. Plans to have the car at its official debut at Amelia. So it's entered in the works reunion down there. So
less than a month from now. That'd be awesome. Hopefully
give people an opportunity to see it and toss them the keys and drive it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Take me for a ride in that thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, break our necks. That'd be awesome.
Sure.
But it's funny. Unseasonably warm. It's almost like it's weird. You're from Wisconsin. You're like wishing for cold weather just so you can go hoon this thing, right? Like and have like some snow and some ice.
I want cold weather for like 4 days.
Yeah.
And then I want it to warm up.
And then it can break, right?
Rain to wash the roads off.
Yeah. And then you can get back to business. You're like, okay, I just want to be able to like to R&D this thing.
Exactly.
And then get going on it. So that's cool. So, circling back to the whole build, like you do everything from air cooled to modern water cooled and whatever you kind of want to go. So it's kind of a show of force. That's pretty cool. So the Turbo S is currently your car, right?
Correct.
That you're doing. And you're showcasing that and seeing what's going to happen with that. Now, when you guys do eventually when you do your quarter mile, do you already have a driver in mind? Who's going to drive or who's going to do that?
I do. So Don Wickstrom, he's on Instagram as the fastest pastor.
Okay.
We worked with Don on our Pikes Peak project last year and again this year. He's itching to get in and do it.
It can't happen fast enough for him.
No. Probably be this time of year next year when we're doing the runs on it. But,
That's awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Bunch of fun stuff in the works. we had Don at Pikes Peak last year in a twin turbo 997 Cup car.
Yeah.
We're going back this year.
I saw that. That was awesome.
Going back this year with way more downforce and way less weight and a way more engine and.
Yeah, let's touch on Pikes Peak a little bit, because I think a lot of people, maybe even out east, they don't realize. I mean, they know what Pikes Peak is, but there's a lot of people that participate in that race, and it's a big deal, and it's awesome that you guys participated in it as well. How long have you guys have been kind of entering cars and doing your thing there?
Last year was year one.
Okay.
So it was a development year for sure. I've got a really increased appreciation for elevation and heat management, because it takes a lot.
Yeah.
Not only what it does to you physically, but trying to keep coolant temps down and charge temps down, and creating, having an engine management system that's capable of creating more power as the air gets thinner.
I was just about to say, the less oxygen for the car and the driver. So it's a test of machine and man on that situation. So it's like, we're losing power. It's like, we don't have oxygen. I'm losing my driving skills because I don't have any oxygen either. I'm blacking out here.
Right. Yeah, and actually we have oxygen in the car for the driver, and it's difficult. I mean, and people don't realize the challenge of what it is. I mean, they have the test days, we'll call them, leading up to it. But I mean, it's you're up at 2:30 in the morning. You're on your way to the mountain. Because it's
and then the weather too. Like, that's the thing, is like, if it's closed, sometimes you don't even get to test properly, and it's like, okay, here's your one run.
Exactly.
Like, I guess the car's dialed. Let's go.
Yep. And all the testing is done by 8 a.m. And then they close it down. You pack up. You start driving down. The tourists start driving up the mountain.
Yeah.
So it's really, really physically demanding. And the first time the driver sees the entire 156 turns is race day.
Yeah.
So it's
exactly. Because they're only seeing legs of it prior to that. They only get like tastes of it. So now, as far as obviously you guys are going to go back. Did you guys enjoy it as far as like the challenge? Was it everything you thought it was going to be? As far as like, man, this is exciting. This is really cool. Was it one of those things?
It really was. I mean, it's always been a bucket list thing for me, and same thing for Don. So I'm thrilled to be involved. That he's allowing us to be involved in this project.
Yeah.
But it's unlike any challenge that I've ever been exposed to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's every aspect of. It's you against the mountain.
Yeah.
And the weather conditions from now to an hour from now could be completely different.
Exactly.
And the base of the hill, the starting line, it could be 65 degrees and sunny, and 3 miles up the road, it's hailing.
Yeah.
Raining.
Exactly.
And you're dealing with the frost heaves and the pavement. So, what you were used to, the previous day in practice, now it's completely different. It's just all the variables that are thrown at you. I mean, it's
your prep's not. You prep for one thing, and then you get thrown something else, and then you're totally off your game. So you have to be even keeled the entire time, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, that's exciting. I'll be looking for you guys. I've never been. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
The only hill climb I've ever been, I've been to Goodwood, but that was it. Yeah.
Yep.
So, but much shorter race, obviously. But that's Pikes Peak is just the monster.
It is. And unfortunately, Carlin Dunn lost his life there this year on the Ducati, and I didn't have the pleasure of meeting him, but have a lot of friends and acquaintances that spoke very highly of him.
Yeah.
And he's done Isle of Man. He's done everything, and he said by far Pikes Peak is more intimidating than Isle of Man.
Really?
Yep.
That says a lot, because Isle of Man looks terrifying.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. I mean, those helmet cams are just they're millimeters away from the wall, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, but his thing is, there's a lot of speed, there's a lot of risk, but all of that same stuff exists at Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
The consequence of crashing in either location is huge.
Yeah.
But you've got the weather element that Isle of Man doesn't have.
You're absolutely right.
So.
Yeah. And in the changing of the weather, that's the crazy part.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Where, like you just said, 3 miles up the mountain could be totally different than what's happening at the base of the mountain.
Yep.
And that's what's so wild about that race. It's unbelievable. And everybody who does that race, they're stones that do that thing for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, just, I've never been up it, like I said, but just seeing video of it, especially when you get like a bumper cam or something, you're like, oh my God, he almost went off the mountain right there.
Too close.
But like, you really have to drive on the edge there to get it done. You have to go 10/10s, and you really just have to be send it and just, hey, I'm going to be all right. And if I'm not, I won't know anyway. So,
and as you, with being 156 corners and trying to memorize everything, there's a lot of corners that look very similar, and the consequence to that is could be huge.
See you later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You might know it, and then you might not.
Right.
Yeah, pretty wild. Well, I don't have anything else for you, Andy. Do you have anything?
Nope, I'm out.
Thank you for your time. I know you're going to be heading out soon.
Yeah.
Great seeing you again.
Likewise.
Finally got to sit down with you. Excited. Definitely check out Kelly Moss if you haven't. Follow them on Instagram. Give them a follow. They're doing awesome stuff as always. We love what they do. They're hoonigans like us, and we have a great time, and they love breaking stuff and having fun and going nuts, and we'll see you in Amelia, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome. See you guys later.
All right, man. Thanks.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of PCAR Talk. Connect with us on Instagram at PCAR Talk or online at pcartalk.com.